Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Pause. Not because this is emotional, not because this is comforting, but because what you are about to hear may redefine how you understand blessing, delay, and power itself. Here is a truth that shakes the foundations of fear. When Allah chooses to bless you, nothing can stop it. Not people, not systems, not your past mistakes, not even your own weakness. And yet, most believers live as if blessings are fragile, as if one wrong move, one delay, one enemy can cancel what Allah has written. Let me ask you something serious, right at the beginning. If Allah is the one who decides, why are you so afraid of obstacles? Today's message is not motivation. It is correction. It is alignment. And if you stay with me, you will understand why Allah sometimes waits until everything looks finished before He begins. Because the greatest blessings often arrive after hope collapses. Let us start with something uncomfortable. Most fear does not come from hardship. It comes from believing power is scattered among creation. You fear rejection because you think people decide your future. You fear loss because you think provision is tied only to effort. You fear delay because you think silence means Allah has turned away. But this fear exposes something deeper. You say Allah is Al-Qadir, the all-powerful, but emotionally, you behave as if power belongs to bosses, governments, markets, family approval, timing, and luck. Here is the spiritual contradiction. If Allah controls hearts, outcomes, openings, and closures, then what exactly are you afraid of? Be honest with yourself. Who are you really waiting for right now? A message? A decision, an opportunity. And why does that thing feel heavier in your chest than Allah's promise? This is where Allah begins to teach a believer. Allah allows fear to rise, not to destroy you, but to expose false reliance. Because as long as you believe people can block what Allah wants to give you, you will never experience real peace. Have you noticed how exhausted you feel from overthinking outcomes you do not control? That exhaustion is a sign that Allah is calling you away from illusion and towards certainty. And this brings us to a dangerous truth most people are not ready for. Allah often removes your sense of control before He releases His blessing, which leads us to the moment everything changes. There is a moment, unseen and undocumented, when Allah decides, not when you are confident, not when everything is organized, often when you are tired of trying to figure it out. This is where many believers fail to understand divine delay. Delay is not Allah hesitating. Delay is Allah rearranging everything you cannot see. When Allah chooses to bless you, He does not ask creation for permission. People may plan against you. Circumstances may look locked. Doors may appear sealed. But when Allah says now, resistance loses meaning. Here is a powerful reality. Nothing that opposes you is stronger than the one who chose you. That is why Allah sometimes waits until support disappears, options narrow, confidence collapses, because Allah wants you to witness the blessing, not attribute it to yourself. Let me reset your attention with a question. What if the delay you are angry about is the protection keeping the blessing pure? What if Allah is preventing you from arriving early because early would have destroyed you? When Allah chooses to bless you, enemies become irrelevant. Delays become alignment, loss becomes insulation. And here is the part that creates urgency. Many people walk away right before this moment. They mistake silence for rejection, they mistake exhaustion for failure. But the believer who understands Allah does something different. They stop forcing, they stop begging creation. They stay anchored, even when nothing makes sense, because they know something powerful is approaching. And next, we will uncover what happens when resistance finally collapses, and why that stage feels like breaking before becoming unstoppable. There comes a stage where struggle changes its nature. You are still moving, still making effort, still making dua, but inside, something is different. The panic fades, the obsession with outcomes weakens, the need to explain yourself disappears. This is not weakness. This is submission settling into the heart. When Allah chooses to bless you, He begins by removing the weight you were never meant to carry. The believer often misreads this stage. They think, why do I feel less emotional? Why am I no longer desperate? Because desperation is no longer required. Allah starts clearing the path quietly. Obstacles lose their power to disturb you. Delays stop feeling personal. Opposition feels smaller than it once did. Here is something crucial to understand. Blessings do not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes they arrive with certainty. And certainty is dangerous to fear. If Allah is already in control, what exactly are you rushing for? At this stage, Shaitan loses one of his strongest weapons, anxiety. Because anxiety only works when you believe outcomes are fragile. But when Allah has decided, the outcome is sealed, and that leads to the final state, the state many desire but few reach. This is where everything settles. When Allah chooses to bless you, you stop negotiating with destiny. You stop measuring yourself by other people's timelines. You stop chasing what Allah has not written. You move with dignity. You wait with patience. You trust without panic. This is not passivity. This is confidence rooted in tawakkul. The believer in this state understands a truth that ends fear. What Allah has written for you will reach you, even if the world stands in the way. And what Allah has not written for you will never reach you, even if you exhaust yourself chasing it. So the struggle that once broke you becomes the evidence that Allah was preparing you. The silence that once scared you becomes proof that Allah was working beyond your sight. And the blessing, and when it arrives, arrives clean, protected, and unmistakably from Allah alone. So as this message comes to its end, reflect deeply on this. Are you fighting the delay, or are you being shaped by it? Because when Allah chooses to bless you, nothing can stop it. Not people, not timing, not fear. Only one thing determines how peaceful the journey is, how quickly you surrender to the one who is already in control.